let's start off with you telling us about your journey and what led to Birthright Africa.
Sure. Well, first, let's start with where we are right now. So I actually say I am bicontinental. I don't consider myself based in the U.S. anymore because I live almost half the year in Ghana. And that was a vision of mine for 10 years, like literally in 2013. It began because one, just simply I was like done with the cold of New York. And I was like, my parents immigrated me to New York from Sudan at the age of 11. And so this is, their chosen place. I love New York, right? I love being from there, but I could choose to live anywhere else in the world. I'm now a full grown adult. Where would I want to be? And so I'm thinking about warm places and where I would really love to live. And at first it was going to be the Caribbean because I love beaches. But then I was like, the work of Birthright is going to bring me to Africa. So let me go all the way back. And had you told me that, even 20 years ago, literally 20 years ago, when the idea for Birthright came to me at the age of 24, I'm working in finance, top of the game in one of the top investment banks. I thought I was going to be in finance forever. I would not have believed you that I would be living this life. Because for one, I had really fulfilled that idea of the American dream. Like I got the education that my parents said we came to America for. I got the job after the internships, just really following that traditional model. And it was a wake-up call to learn and understand that there was a missing piece of the puzzle in my education, where one of my friends who was working with me at the time could see the way I talked about the U.S. in this very exceptional way. Like, oh my God, I've made it. My family got saved and rescued from Africa, which, I'm never going back there because look at all our problems. Even though I grew up in Sudan for a couple of years as a child of diplomats. We were between Sweden. That was my earliest recollections. And then Uganda, where I went to an American international school. In between, we were in Sudan, and I would have exposure to my country. I knew what it was like to be in an all-Black space and was like, okay, that's normal. I didn't understand that wasn't normal in the U.S. in a lot of ways. So I'm starting to be in that environment. My friend could see the way I was talking, and she was like, Walla, do you know what happened to Black people in America? Like she knew I was about to enter this world that I didn't fully understand. It was going to try to oppress me. And I was like, no, not only do I not know about what happened to Black people in America, I don't know about African history either. Like, we weren't taught in depth. I don't remember Africa at all even in global history. I don't remember reading Black teachers, if I ever did. And I was like, how is this possible? I'm this educated person, and I don't know my history. That means a whole bunch of us must not. And then a couple of friends were getting their birthright to learn their history and culture as Jewish young people. And I was like, wait a minute. You're getting a 10-day trip for free to learn your history and culture? Where's Birthright Africa? Like, we need a Birthright Africa. How does this not exist? At 24, I'm like, I went and I looked. There was no website. I was like, this could be my calling. I felt so called to my purpose at that moment.
Yeah. No, and I can relate. It was the same. We didn't grow up on having any Black history taught to us. And, you had to either have very conscious parents.
Yes. Yep.
Or, be very curious.
Or a teacher that took it upon themselves to go a little bit extra.
It was actually at university when I did Black history as an elective. And that
Good
was
for you.
The Black history in the UK. And that's when that really started properly. So I totally get that. And of course, you being the daughter of diplomats, it would have been a totally different bubble.
Oh, yeah. I grew up very privileged when I look back at it now. And I grew up very multicultural, very global citizen. And then I land in New York City where it's like immigrant heaven and everyone's from all over the world. And my particular neighborhood within Queens, which literally has people from all parts of the world, the largest borough in Queens. I mean, the largest group of people from all over the world in one county in America is where I grew up. And on top of that, the neighborhood within it. So I was like, oh, more melting pot, multiculturalism, like literally in that rose-colored glasses of what the U.S. presents itself to be. And you could pick up here and there that there's this Black struggle, and then you start seeing maybe you're one of a few people in certain types of spaces, but you're like, that's just one off. And, I had that view too, like, well, I'm here, so what's the problem? You don't understand the systemic nature of it. And now we obviously I've fully woken up.